Hi there. Welcome to SparrowCast series, where we help you to connect the dots. Take home the best ideas from industry experts and thought leaders right here on SparrowCast by SurveySparrow. Today we have with us Maranda Ann, Vice President, Customer Success at Swiftly Incorporated. Recognized as one of the top 100 customer success strategists, Maranda has over 20 years of experience in both working with and designing world-class customer-facing teams. She has great experience in building and scaling customer-facing teams in both B2B and B2C and various others team in operations. Today, Maranda will educate us on how to start a Net Promoter Score program. Welcome to the show, Maranda. Super excited to have you here.
Yeah, wonderful. So I have now launched probably 4 or 5 NPS programs, and over launching different NPS programs for various companies, I've had some learnings that I would love to share with everybody here. So my pain, your gain, I guess, so to speak. So I have like a few steps that I think everybody should think through when they're launching their first NPS program. And I would love that if you have any questions, please just speak up so I can make this as helpful as possible. I think first and foremost, launching NPS or Net Promoter or program in your company is more than just launching a system. You have to have a plan and you have to have follow through. You don't want to just send out surveys without plans on what you want to achieve. I think first things first is get your company alignment in place. Educate and inform why NPS is important. You would be surprised, but not everybody knows what NPS is. And it's incredibly important that everybody in the organization understands that NPS isn't owned by a specific department. The success of NPS or the success of your customer is owned by everybody in the organization. Be deliberate about your audience. So don't just randomly pull an email list of your customers and send that out. That's not very actionable. Make sure you segment your customer base. Think who your customers are today and who your customers will be tomorrow. And make sure you segment accordingly on before sending it out. What you're going to get out of that is if you have the typical SaaS model of small business, mid-market, and enterprise, you're going to want to look at the scores that you're getting for small business, mid-market, and enterprise. Maybe your product is more suited towards the enterprise customer base. You're going to really want to hone in on what the NPS is there and what your customers are saying. The next thing that I think is important is to pick a tool. You may not think of this as being something incredibly important, but there are many tools out there on the market. So understand what is important to you. One, I can't say enough about automation. So find a tool that's going to allow you to automate, or you're going to have a very manual NPS program, and that is hard to scale and hard to keep up with. 2, find something that talks to your various systems. If you have data that is in disparate and you're not able to aggregate it, you're not going to be able to tie trends to actions that are happening in other areas of your systems. So for example, it was really important for me that I had a tool that pushed NPS to Slack. I want everybody in the company to see that feedback as it comes through real time. I wanted a tool that created a Zendesk ticket every time we got an NPS survey. That way, if there was any feedback that the customer success or support org needed to follow up on, they had a ticket immediately created for them. And then I think I have like 2 or 3 more important tidbits to think through for your first NPS program or any NPS program. Next is really keep your surveys short. Generally 1 question and then a follow-up that's just why. If you can keep it to that, your overall interaction will be higher. As we know, folks don't want, we are a culture of feedback, I think, by nature in business. And I think people are becoming very tired of surveys. So we want to make sure that you keep it short in order to get the response rate that you want. Then I think the next thing, which is really hard, is to follow up on every response, especially the negative responses. You want to think those that give you the 9s and 10s for their feedback, and try to figure out how can you celebrate that with them, but also celebrate that internally at your organization. And then on the negative, make sure you follow up. Anything that's a detractor, follow up and figure out what can we do better to bring you at least into passive, if not into promoter. And I think I talked about this a little bit in the beginning about having a plan, but create your goals. Create goals around improving your NPS, improving response rate, reducing churn, whatever it is that you want to get out of your NPS. Make sure you have some very clear and succinct goals at the beginning of launching your program, and have milestones along the way that tell you that you are marching towards meeting the goals. Those are just a few tips.
Right. Thank you so much, Miranda. It was absolutely insightful. I'm sure our audience also felt likewise. So right now, I probably will just sum up the key takeaways from our session with Miranda here today. 1, have a plan on what to achieve and have the company aligned. That is, get stakeholders buy-in across the organization. Number 2, don't randomly send the survey. Have targeted reach outs. Number 3, choose the right tool, which has the right set of automations to meet your objectives, integrations, and your existing systems, and gives out-of-box reporting. Number 4, keep your survey short to get better response report. Number 5, always close the loop. Celebrate your promoters and address what can be made better for detractors and passives. Once again, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your insights with us. And we shall see you again in the next SparrowCast. Fly along with us.